I'd like to welcome our newest sponsor, Schecter Guitars. This holiday season, go over to schecterguitars.com and see what high-quality goodies they have waiting there for you. Premium feel and unbeatable price. See why guitarists like Isaac Brock from Modest Mouse, Robert Smith from The Cure, and Ernie C. from Body Count all love Schecter Guitars. A wide variety of styles and builds with high-end components and affordable prices for touring guitarists. Built to last. Go treat yourself and try something new you've always wanted to check out. Schecter Guitars has it all. We'd like to thank our sponsor, iZotope, the absolute leaders in intuitively designed plugins for audio restoration, mixing, and mastering. At iZotope.com, you'll find a plethora of tools and suites that will enhance your audio production, whether it's voice, video, podcast, or a full production recording session. Check out the industry-standard audio repair tool, RX11, or the multi-tool mixer plugin, Neutron 5, or the powerful Ozone 11 mastering suite, plus tons more. Go to iZotope.com and use the code FRET10 at checkout for 10% off. That's FRET10 to get 10% off at checkout. And again, the website is iZotope.com, iZotope.com. Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE. And send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. What's happening? Thanks so much for tuning in to Hyphenate Halftime. This is our show for Monday, December 8th. With me, as always, is the jolly old man himself, Mr. Aaron Farley. How do you do?
Thank you. I'm looking, I'm doing good. I'm looking more and more like Santa Claus every day. So the jolly old, the bowl full of jelly is real.
It's jiggling.
Yeah.
The jiggle is real. My gosh. Yeah. What a wild time it is, right?
Yes.
Holidays.
No, I mean, that's normal.
Normal time?
Normal.
Oh, okay.
Life is normal. No, there's nothing going on. Nothing happening in the world.
Oh, so
there's no stress. I feel like this is the least stressful time of the year for everyone. And
Good Lord.
between Thanksgiving and New Year's, totally just, I don't know what everybody's worried about. I don't know. This world seems like everything's pretty calm right now. And, you know. Nothing. I just can't think of anything to talk about, really.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. You can write us hyphenate@gmail.com. That's going to do it for the show. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
Super chill holiday season.
Well, I guess we could talk about Reg Bloor for a minute then before.
Maybe.
The personal side of things. I will say before we get into Reg, though, we just did Santa Claus pictures at the mall today.
Oh,
and
amazing.
That's fun. There is something about the normalcy of commerce. It's great to see a mall packed. I feel like there was a few years there in the last 25 years that the malls were not very crowded, and it was sort of depressing and like a weird, like, oh no, what's happening? But now I can report as of today, our local Southern California mall was packed full of people, and we waited in line to get a picture of Santa Claus. And again, whether we're just, lying to ourselves and saying everything's fine, it was nice to walk around a mall today. I took comfort in that. My 80s brain was satiated.
I do wonder if we had the same technology that we had now to know all of the stuff going on in the 70s and 80s. If like it just seems worse now because we're watching it, but really in the 80s it would just be like Nicaragua. It would be like all of those things, and it wouldn't just be like once a night, like, okay, the 6:00 news is on, we're going to watch Walter Cronkite, who, I found out this week was a CIA asset. Oh. Let's just,
Good to know.
Like these are the things. I've realized everybody has a CIA asset, which is pretty amazing. But but that if we
who
did have
hasn't been
all
a
of this,
CIA asset, right? At one time or
I
another,
mean-
even if you didn't know you probably were in some way. shape,
hold
or
on,
form.
Randy. There's someone in my ear.
Oh, okay,
Hold
okay,
it.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I am not a CIA asset. I'm supposed to tell you that.
We have all deniability here.
Yeah. Do you know anybody who's ever gotten contacted by the CIA
No.
to like? I do. I know one person.
Publicly on record, I say no to all things.
Yeah,
I deny all
knew-
knowledge of any clandestine secret organizations.
No, I know one person that I went to college with who was like maybe the smartest person I knew at the time.
Oh well, that's
Like
a
extremely intelligent person in the sciences, and he legitimately got a phone call from a person through a professor to take the test for the CIA.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did he do
like
it?
legit, like he's like he got the call.
Wow.
And they're like, hey, so your test score, like everything that you've done, like your intelligence, like you're on this track, and would you ever be interested? And I think he thought about it almost in this way, because he was like a punk, like
Whoa.
super punk. He was the one that first played Nardwuar, the Human Serviette, for me, and he was really into like klezmer music, all the like good 90s punk stuff.
Yeah.
Like he would have like old Sonic Youth demo, it's just like all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And but he's the guy, and he was like, I mean, I kind of want to do it just to do it, like to see what it's like. And I'm like, I don't know, what's the CIA? I was a dummy at the time. I didn't know all the great stuff I know now.
I do know a punk who well, I guess there's a couple, but a punk guy who became a submarine operator through the Navy.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, I don't think it went well for him, but he did that. He was involved.
I couldn't be in a submarine. I got freaked out going in the submarine ride at the Finding
Disneyland?
Nemo.
Yeah.
Oh, I got.
You're not even really.
Yeah. Dude, I went down there, and
Like,
I think it was a weird time. Like the kids were really little, and I was going through some like kind of mild anxiety stuff just in general, getting older and like
being at
all that.
Disneyland. That'll pressure cook you anyway, and then.
Yeah, and I think I'm fine. Like I was fine with Disneyland. I was fine with everything, and we're like, yeah, let's go in the Finding Nemo. And I'm a little weird with tight spaces.
I'm not good in tight spaces myself.
But I haven't been, it just never really affected me. And I got down in this thing, and I sat down, and I instantly started shaking, and I was like, what is going on?
Oh no.
And I was like, whew, I gotta this is really small. There's a lot of people in here. And even though I know, like you watch the thing, and it doesn't go, like it goes underwater, but like not really. Like
right,
basically your head is at the top, at the surface.
If you stood up, you'd be fine.
Yeah. But the way that they do the bubbles and everything on the windows, have you been in it?
Oh yeah.
Or you're
times.
like, no, I've not.
No. I've done it many times.
You have. Okay.
I didn't have a freak out at those moments.
But the way the bubbles go up.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way the bubbles go up, and I'm like, I know we're not going deep, but my whole body is like, we are sinking. We're going down to the bottom of the ocean.
Get me out of here.
And like, you got to get out of here. And I had to do like controlled breathing and all this stuff. God. And like, just be, I had both kids, and they're like, oh my God, it's Nemo. And
I'm like, it's not food.
Totally. I'm like, totally. It's just totally Finding Nemo. This is awesome. It's amazing. Yeah. I like, a real submarine. No, get me out of here. The whole time I'd be like, we're definitely sinking. This is done.
It's crazy. No, I've had to do a few MRIs in my life, and that's the one in the tube, right? I think that's yeah. And when I was younger, I was okay. And just this last year, I had to do one. I was not good. I went to the one that they, like the normals one. Well, the one before too was bad. I had shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And that one I freaked out. I had to have the little squeezy hand pump thing. You do it, and I like squeezed it. I like, I gotta get out. And then they put me back in again. And I was like, I didn't.
Isn't that weird?
Not do well. And then I had to do it again. So now I know I'm not good. And then that was just leading up to it. And then I get into the room, and they're like, okay, I'm like in the gown. I got nothing, no metal on, nothing. And they're about to put me in. I was like, you know what? I got to be honest. I'm not going to do this. I can't do this. And then I found a place that has an open MRI that's still tight, but the sides are open. So instead of it like being a whole donut you go into, it's kind of like a hamburger sort of thing. But you're way in there, and it's like it's 4 inches from your nose, and I'm not a small person.
Yeah.
And I did that one, and I talked to my doctor, and he prescribed like a Valium to take before and all this stuff. So I did that, and even with the openness, I was just cooking. I was just sweating. That sweat that pools in your back, comes down. Your cold sweat the whole time, and I was trying everything I could. I took the Valium. I was doing everything I could, and it was really, really, really painful.
It's rough.
Oh yeah. I think as I get older, it's definitely no bueno for me.
Yeah, isn't it weird when it gets older? Because I was the same. Like, I mean, maybe tight spots. Like, maybe I just stayed away from tight spots when I was a kid. I just never really thought about it. Yeah. But that, but like I never, like, if someone would ever say like, "Hey, do you want to go cave exploring?" I'm like, nope. Yeah, no, I can't. Like, if I'm squeezed in, I'm like, I'm gonna be stuck here forever. I'm gonna die here. I'm never gonna be able to get out, and I can't. Like that thought just goes through my mind. Yeah,
well, because and then it's noisy too. Have you done an MRI?
Oh yeah.
It's the clanging and the metal and all the stuff, and it's loud.
I ended up being able to get through it. Somehow, I think I can I breathed myself through it a little bit. I'm like, okay, it's fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. It's fine. Think of something else. You're meditating. Yeah. Let's just pretend like you're not closed into a very closed in space. You're not in a coffin. You are not in a coffin. Oh you are God. Not in a coffin.
Yeah. With the shoulder, it was tough too, because they had to sort of situate the shoulder in a certain way. And I'm like even cinched in, and they got stuff around you so you don't move. And so, and then they put you in, and then you're going into the thing. So just being tied to a board is hard out in the room. And then they put you into the thing, and as you're going, your head first, right? And so it's like you're just their head is, and I'm like, and the shoulders like go up against the side of it, and you're like getting squeezed in there more and more, and then it's just breathing, and then I open my eyes stupidly, and then it's literally just off of your nose. You're like 4 inches off of your nose, and oh man, that's just rough. And I tried visualizing stuff. I would imagine. I remember one of the times when I had my first shoulder surgery around 2007. I visualized being at the smell. I was like, what's the biggest cavernous, most big, I was like, laying on the floor at the smell. It's huge. There's plenty of room. You could jump around. You could crowd surf. It's a giant, noisy, dirty, smelly room. And I was trying to envision everything, to try to walk myself around this space that I'm in my head. And, but it's a half hour. It's really long. And if your heart's beating hard, it's hard to really maintain that for that long of a time.
Yeah, totally. I was I don't need to do that. I don't need to be I don't need to feel like I'm almost going to drown, and I don't need to feel like I'm going to be squeezed to death. Those are the two things. I'll stay away from that.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, I think this last one, even with the open one, it was really close, and I didn't have the pressure on the shoulders, which was good. That bought me those 30 minutes I needed. But I think I watched a movie in my head. I watched the first Star Wars, just try to go through beat by beat. I was like, I have this thing memorized. I can play this in my head. I can watch it. I can slow it down. I can rewind it, try to visualize it. And then there was a lot of just beach. Okay, I'm just laying in warm sand, feel the warmth on the sand in the back of your heels, just try to really live in the body moment of it. You can listen to the waves, and it's kind of, you're like, oh, there's a seagull out there. It's very open, very big sky. The sun's setting.
They're like, no, this is really cool. This is great. This is awesome. I love this. I love being suffocated.
Oh, I freaked out.
Like, you couldn't do this in a different way? Yeah. You just pretend you're at a noise show. Speaking of.
Sure. Yeah. That might be good. But the anxiety was wild. But it was, but Reg Bloor was my guest last week, and she is raising money through Kickstarter to release a lost tape of Glenn Branca. I think it was his 4th symphony. It was recorded.
I feel like I think I looked online, and they got the money.
Oh, that's incredible. See, we did it. Congratulations.
Because
Hyphenators. I don't know what do we call our fans?
The hyphenation.
The hyphenation. Good job, hyphenation. You did it.
Yes.
You funded it. But I think you could still give money. You could still buy it.
Yeah,
you could still donate. You could still buy Reg's music. So don't feel like there's nothing to support there. There's still a need. But she's such a cool person. She's somebody I think I talked a little bit about, getting to know her just a little bit and playing in that 100 Guitars thing. You were in LA during that 100 Guitars thing. Do you remember that?
So I'm pretty sure that we came and saw that.
Oh,
and I was trying to think that,
Hall?
Yeah, because I don't think you and I did not really know each other at that point.
Yeah.
But I did know Sippy. Okay, and I feel like Sippy was in it. Yep. And then we ended up going and watching, and it was awesome.
Yeah, was it right? It was crazy.
Yeah,
just being in that fancy of a place. I think at that age too. I think I was probably 26 or something, like 25, 26, and definitely felt like, okay, cool, I've made it. Check it out, Mom. This is before the band had really. I think we had just started. I'd talk a little bit about it in the episode, but I remember Dean that morning got like the first No Age shirts printed. I was like, I have to wear a shirt, print, and see if your mom can print shirts this morning. I want to wear a No Age shirt on the Walt Disney Concert Hall stage.
Yeah,
I think I don't even know if we'd played our first show yet, but we had ideas.
Yeah, that's awesome. 2006.
Is that right? Yeah, it was 2000. Yeah, that's 2006. Yeah,
that's what she said. Okay.
Yeah. It was fun. It was definitely a cool experience. But the 2 days of rehearsal before were really the thing that I think I just blew my mind. We were in big kind of like rehearsal spaces over by Burbank Airport. There's kind of like warehouses that you can stage for like big concerts, like like an arena touring act. It's big enough to build a whole stage for like the Rolling Stones or something. You could rehearse a whole band.
You set up in there. I've been in a couple of those just from like photo shoots or something that you go there and like, well, we're rehearsing, so we have to do the shoot here, and then you walk in, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, we've been in here for like 2 months, 3 months, like figuring out the set, figuring out the lighting rigs, figuring out all the sound, figuring out like that just gives, speaking about anxiety, that gives me anxiety. I look at that. I'm like, I do wish that I had the brain that could compartmentalize all of these things and run this. Like the producer's brain.
Oh my God.
Is insane. Insane. Because I get in there and I go, no. I could know, like, give me like 3 tasks. I could do 3 tasks really good. But the 750 that you guys are all working on right now is just out of control right now. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, it was really fun. In hearing,
that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't really know what Reg's role was in all of that stuff. And I believe her and Glenn were married. And I think she ran a lot of it. Glenn kind of walked around and sort of just listened to things, and he would kind of, stop things, wave his hand, stop, and then talk to the musical director, and then they would kind of have a chat, and then the music director would give us information. But Reg was on guitar. He's just sort of like first chair, this big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really fun. But just the bounce, maybe because it was a room that wasn't necessarily acoustically treated, like the Walt Disney Concert Hall is like made to make all these, wood and, like, I don't know what you call them, orchestral pieces of, acoustical instruments of, violins and trumpets and things sound great. This was just a big box, and it just sounded wild. It sounded like definitely being in the middle of a tornado of bees. And then for hours and hours at a time, it was just like, whoa, you're hearing reflections, you're hearing all kinds of stuff. You're like, I don't even know where I am. I'm lost.
Yeah, I could imagine that. And the cool thing was that I had to, one of the reasons why I texted you today is that I had to make a random drive back to LA because we forgot some stuff yesterday.
Oh, right. Yeah. You had an art
namely soccer cleats and my, Towns of soccer cleats, my computer and Lila's camera. Like all three of us left something. So I'm like, oh my God, I have to drive back to LA today. But it gave me a great chance to listen to Regis music, but then also listen to Glenn Branca's music because I knew of the 100 Guitars and I knew of some of those compositional stuff, but I'd never listened to that. There was an album that was 79. No, it was like 77 to 79, Glenn Branca. And it sounds like Devo. Like in a great way. Like it's like Devo, but heavy, like heavier and then like if you imagine like taking one line from a Devo song and then the lyrics are like just one line repeated.
Whoa.
Right. It's like instead of making a whole song about it, and like very repetitious, almost like a James Brown repetitious, like we got a good riff and it just repeats and repeats, but it kind of sounds like heavy Devo kind of like late 70s kind of pop heavy. Yeah, it was great. So I listened to it the whole ride home. Like I listened to a bunch of, and then cool. There's some like little weirder songs, but then there's very kind of catchy, weird, like repetitive late 70s, amazing songs, cool songs. So it was very cool. So I had no idea. So then I was like listening to those, and then I listened to some of the Ascension tracks and what was it, number 13, like the one that she was talking about.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of came at it through being a Sonic Youth fan, you know, as a kid, and it was like, oh well, Lee Ronaldo and Thurston Moore met as part of the Glenn Branca ensemble, and you know they had both spent time with Glenn Branca performing these pieces. And I think that was sort of mentioned in all of those earlier or those 90s Sonic Youth, you know, magazine pieces. So I knew he had something to do with the genesis of Sonic Youth, and so I was like, oh, okay. As a noise guitar guy, I was like, this is great. I have to find this, but it definitely felt, you know, for my teenage brain, like I'm just like, whoa, this is art with a capital A. This is just above my head and just out of reach in some ways, and you know, like in kind of revered sort of status of things. So much like a Terry Riley or like, you know, these Philip Glass, these sort of like, okay, these people play like, you know, real music or real composer stuff versus all the punk stuff and, you know, noisy things I was into.
Yeah, but we're also in the same world, which is very cool that those kind of photographers and the videographers and artists and musicians were all kind of coming out of this cool, weird art space that ended up becoming popular art. I mean, it was pop art, right? Like after pop art, but it ended up becoming like this popular underground, which is very weird, which I don't feel like will happen anymore now. Like the industries are too big, that stuff, like the weird stuff just doesn't get through anymore. Like there aren't radio stations to play it that are big enough for a wide audience, and there aren't, or if there are radio stations that are big enough, but they're all controlled by, you know, corporate whatever. You don't have the Rodney Bingenheimers and you don't have those weirdos on the Saturday night that play all, like that go to all the clubs and see what's happening and the cool thing, and that stuff blows up, you know, like you don't have the Andy Warhol is not a thing, like is not getting big in these days, you know.
It's different.
Like those things, it's like too weird. You're like, I don't know. This is like Tiny Tim is not getting big nowadays. You know what I mean? Like not,
kind of thing.
Yeah. Like not in the mainstream. Like, but maybe those people have their own audience, maybe on TikTok and stuff, and we just don't know about it. But as far as those things, there being like a scene, I feel like the scene getting huge is way hard. Like a weird scene getting huge is way more difficult. And there was something special in that, in the like mid 60s to the 80s in New York, that all of these people, the Philip Glasses and the Laurie Anderson and Lou Reed and Andy Warhol and Basquiat and like all and hip hop, and like the fact that all of those things, and Bad Brains and the Beastie Boys, and you know, it's like you have all of these things that come from this weird bubbling underground that all became huge, because also like the record labels were also tiny kind of back then, you know, in the sense of what they are now, like being owned by like alcohol labels and the CIA. And but it's cool. Like it's cool going back to that Glenn Branca stuff and being like, oh wow. And he was kind of huge, but because he only did his thing, and like no one else did that thing, like the 100 guitars, and he like found this weird niche that ended up becoming kind of this big deal.
Yeah, no, it's totally wild, and I think it's just the level of inspiration has always been huge.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm trying to take a screenshot here. There was the thing I was thinking of that I didn't want to tell Reg was that remember LA Record?
Uh-huh.
They would do like album covers, have a band like select an album cover.
Yeah.
And Dean and I did one where we did like the Robert Longo drawing of the Ascension.
Right? You did?
I think I'm like falling back into Dean or he's falling into me, and we like wore like these suits and we shot it with Dan Monick. I don't know if you ever did any of those things.
Yeah, we did Motorhead, Ace of Spades.
Yeah, it was so cool and it was funny. It was definitely a funny. I was trying to see if there's pictures of it online. I know if we have physical copies of it somewhere. Again, this is a million years ago. This is probably shortly after awesome. 100 guitars. But we're trying to think of like record covers that just had two people on it, and that was cool. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty well. But it's definitely this kind of like very intimate sort of, because the cover is like one man in a black suit falling into the arms of another man in a gray suit.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks, but when you have real people doing it, it's just it's like, oh wow, this is like very almost kind of like intimate in a way, like, oh, I'm catching you. We try to do the faces and stuff. And I think we even had wigs on because the hair is very black and long, kind of shaggy 80s hair. And yeah. But I don't want to cop to being that weird of a fan.
You're like, yeah, no,
try my best.
It's cool. Yeah, everything is cool. It's cool, man. I'm into it, but cool. I'm not that into it.
I'm not like a weirdo or nothing.
Yeah, I'm not stalking anybody or anything, but no, those were fun. I shot one of those once of Dios as Queen.
Oh, cool.
The band Dios with the black background and just their faces coming out. And then as Sabertooth Tiger, we did Motorhead.
That's awesome.
And so we were on the sand. We were on like a sand hill, and got like the ponchos and the hats.
Yeah, what is that record?
And the mustaches and. I think it's just, is it Ace of Spades? I don't remember.
I don't know.
The actual record is Ace of Spades, but
yeah,
those were so fun. That was such a good time. Those went on for years.
Yeah,
I feel like.
No, it was definitely
Dan did all of them.
Rite of passage.
Yeah,
for bands in LA at that time.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and then
fun times.
Yes. Okay, so now I'm putting together my own timeline with Glenn and with Reg. So I did the 2006 100 guitars, and then 10 years later in 2016. I was in a smaller group that we performed in New York as part of the Red Bull Music Academy Festival in 2016. How many people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it was 9, or there's probably 8 guitars and then a bass player and a drummer. But it was.
And then what was that piece?
What did we do? Yeah, I mean, at the time it all goes by so fast, and again, it's like just remembering numbers. Let's see here. I don't know. I'm reading a piece here from Bedford and Bowery to even see what
that stuff is. Great driving music, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. I mean, it's totally. I think that's what Dean and I would. We'd listen to it in the van. What was the piece? I want to say it's not the 6th. I don't know. I can't even see. It was really fun though. I mean, it was like an hour of music.
That's amazing.
It's not saying which symphony it was. I mean, it's. I think she gets into it too, but I mean, it's really the whole thing is like there's these different guitarists, and so like my guitar was always like I had 3 high strings and like unwound strings and then 3 wound strings, and they're both tuned to B. They're octaves of B. So I have 3 high Bs and 3 low Bs. And then you're just playing in 16th, like 16th notes. So back and forth, like really quick, and
So then so you're just doing like a bar?
Yeah,
like a bar,
exactly. I just
up and down,
one finger across
up and down
the whole
neck.
thing. Yep.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and then I was cribbing off of Mick Barr was sitting next to me, and he was really much smarter than I Okay.
I don't know Mick Barr.
Mick Barr played he has a band called Orthrealm, and he does these really fast kind of, it's similar to almost like Hella, like really fast, guitar sounds. Again, like 16 notes or 30-second notes. Like, so he's perfect for this kind of, world of fast guitar, but he does these crazy, but Orthrealm is sort of like that. It was I think it was just guitar and drums, and his really fast paced guitar, playing and craziness. But he also played in that band Quixotic from Washington DC with Christina and Mira Bellotti. It was part of like Discord's sort of darker, gothier, moodier sort of stuff. But
okay, I don't know that.
But that's awesome. He's cool. He's a super shredder.
That's right. Speaking of super shredders, I went to Guitar Center today.
Oh, dang. Which one?
Pasadena.
Oh,
on my way home.
Okay.
Because I realized I was missing a high E string. And then I went to look through all my stuff, and I'm like, you know what? I think my guitar could probably use a new set of strings. So maybe I'll get a whole set.
Oh, nice.
And I was driving by there, and I just walked in, and I was like, oh, I miss this place. There's like some shredders there today, just just going off on the craziest guitars, the craziest I don't even, is that a Schecter? I don't even know what that is.
Well, speaking of Schecter, they are one of our newest sponsors. I don't know if they has run on this piece.
What?
But if not,
how did I even? I wish I knew that, and I was trying to get a Schecter ad in here.
Yeah, man.
But there you go. You didn't even have to tell me.
At Schecter,
I can feel it.
I just recorded the ad. It should be running in front of this. If not this show, then the next show.
That's amazing. But shredders, and it was funny because I had just been listening. I didn't even think about it, and on the way there, I was listening to Glenn Branca. And like one of the crazier songs. So it was like 10 guitar, so many guitars just happening. And it was just like, and then I opened the door to Guitar Center, and I'm like, whoa, this is like the version if you just had like 20 guitars, but just go for it, bro.
That's it.
And so I went to the Glenn Branca concert in Guitar Center with like 20 guitars just going for it. And then like a guy over on the drums who's just starting to learn and just is like banging on the drums over there. And then here's some, and then a little girl playing like the only song she knows on the keyboard. You can hear it, but she's got it up loud enough you can hear it in the guitar room. Yeah, it's great.
That's amazing.
Loved it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And then Reg's solo work is really cool too. It's not really, it's in the vein, but it's very different. I don't know. Did you listen to any of her work?
Yeah.
And I was so curious because again, I work in such an improvised sort of way with, but in a much quieter ambient way with a lot of the solo stuff I do. So I was curious how much of her stuff was improvised, and it's not. It's all written, which is incredible. There's very replicable things, but we did a show. I helped set up a show at Zebulon a couple of years ago when she was out here for another project, and it's wild. She's like a force of nature. I mean, I don't know if she's how many inches over 5 feet tall she is. She's not a large person, but the sound is just ferocious, and just
my God,
just seeing her play live is fantastic.
Just like razor blades, it's heavy. I turned it on instant and just went, wow, this is heavy. Like it's heavy, but it's high end. It's just like high end, and it just doesn't stop. It's amazing.
Yeah, very inspiring, and I feel fortunate that we've gotten to be friendly over the years, and it sounded like there was a lot of similar DIY stuff coming. I wasn't really familiar with her time in Boston.
Yeah,
and a lot of the same sort of DIY circles.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think that anybody in that world, when you talk to them, there's like 1 degree of separation. You're like, do you know? Yes, I know. Yep, we've all played shows together with everybody. Yeah, so great.
Yeah. No, it's. I think I'm always impressed though. It was like, wait a second, but you're like for real. You're like a real musician. Like, what are you doing? How do I ever get? I think I saw that imposter syndrome all these years later of just bluffing my way into rooms. Sometimes, you get asked to do and to go from 100 guitars to 8 guitars in 10 years. Yeah. I mean, I think there's my ascension. There's my my own bona fides getting pulled into that kind of world. I'm like,
you got to let it go, Randy. You're supposed to be here. You're meant to be here. This is obviously you're in the room with me. I'm giving you the okay.
I'm allowed
to exist in this space, Randy.
I don't have to front. Oh my God. It is tough. It is, but everybody goes through it. I mean, if anybody out there listening to this is going through that same sort of thing, like it is for really real, no matter what you do in life. It's always like, I'm always looking over my shoulder and like, is someone going to kick me out of this thing? Like,
someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and go, your time is done.
Yeah, this is done. Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like that's happened a few times, and yet somehow I still continue to exist.
Yeah.
Maybe with not as much social power, but it's still, I still keep ticking. I still have some kind of cockroach energy.
I do feel like that, even seeing our kids like growing up and starting to get into things where that don't have to do with us. You know, it's like, and like, I can't go talk to that person. I can't like do this. I can't do that. And I'm like, you know, I feel that way too, always still. And I guess I tell kids at school this too, all the time, of like, you're always going to feel that way. But the only way to get over it is to just like, whenever you're scared, do the thing you're scared of, because you'll realize that scared energy is also the same energy as excitement. It's like the same feeling. You're just putting it in a different bottle. It's like you still get like the shakiness and the like, oh my God. But when you're really excited to do something, or you're really happy for somebody or whatever, and it's the same feeling when you are scared to talk to somebody, is that like, if you can somehow go like, I'm not scared to talk to them, I'm excited to talk to them. So let's go. Let's just be, because it's the same, like your palms are sweating and you're like
arms weak,
getting the like
mom spaghetti.
Yeah, mom spaghetti, the whole thing. The Eminem really had it together. Yeah. But that it really is like, all those people that kept going were the people that stepped through the door when they were scared and just went, you know what, fuck it. I've got to go talk to this person. And then you realize that person is just as scared as you, probably, about something else. Or they're in a spot where they're just super confident. And so you think like, oh my God, they're the most confident person. You're like, no, they just know how to do one thing really well. And they're really confident when you're talking to them, doing that one thing. And then you walk outside to go order pizza with them and they're like, I can't order, man. This is crazy. I'm so scared. You know, and you're like, what? You get scared? Like, oh my God, I'm scared all the time. I can't do anything. Like, you look like the most confident person ever. I'm like,
it's wild.
Yeah, it's all a ruse, man. It's all a ruse. I remember talking to a really big photographer, a guy that like I really looked up to and kind of became friends with here in LA for a little bit. But he's like 5 years older than me. So then when I was assisting, he was kind of on his ascension up to being like shooting all this really cool stuff. And when I came to LA, I'm like, oh my God, that's the guy. And he was like at a show and kind of talked, and he was like, but he was still like the coolest guy, you know? And then years later, and we're kind of friends, and I was like, man, I just feel like this thing isn't for me. It was like talking about like being super nervous. He's like, dude, it never goes away. Like, I feel horrible. Every time I get out of my car, I'm like, this is the worst. It was about like shooting some corporate thing that I didn't want to do. He's like, I put music on right before I get out of my car. I have my pump up music and I'm like, come on, let's go. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, you wait, you're like the most confident, cool guy ever. And he's like, let's go. Come on, let's go. We got this. Like total scene from a movie. He's like, I pump myself up. I've got it going. I get like the dance music going. I get it through my body. And then I'm like, I don't get to get rid of this energy till the end of the day. And I run out of my car and I'm like, I have to pretend to be a completely different person.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
wow, that's nuts. But he was like the guy that I was like, that he's so cool. He's so calm. He's so like, and he's like, no, dude, I have to fake it all the time. Just to get myself out of my own head. And to be like, okay, right now I'm the DJ at the party, and the party is everybody's leaving, and I got to figure out how to get them back. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. I'm out. I don't have that in me.
So
go figure something else out.
But it
really, I always remember that, to be like, yeah, you either have that thing that like when things are going bad, you're like, I'm going to push through, or it just the pushing through gets to be too much. And you're like, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
That's cool.
But
yeah, what I saw an interesting reel on Instagram where it was this guy talking about how if your parents weren't socially confident, like if you didn't have social confidence mirrored for you or shown to you as a child, that it's like learning another language, like as an adult, to get to act with confidence in social settings, because you don't really know how to do it. You've never seen it been done. It's never been explained to you. You've never witnessed it. And I think everybody can relate to that in one form or another. You know what I mean? I think there was, I think my mom was very social confident. I think my dad maybe was not. But it was a funny way of talking about like that social confidence as a language, and as a skill that you have to really see demonstrated for you. And if it's not demonstrated, then you're starting from square one, and you have to learn how to do it and experiment and fail and build up your own sort of vocabulary of social confidence things. And I see that a lot with younger people too, where, they talk about like the Gen Z stare or these kinds of things, where it's like, oh, okay, well, there's some social contract that between the generations has not gotten carried over here.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to stay in your own lane now because you can just go like, man, I'm going to go back to my phone. Right. Yeah. Like, this is fine. I'm going to go back to my my blanket.
Oh my God. This is funny. This reminds me of a thing. So today at the mall, we're waiting for Santa. We have an appointment. We booked the thing. We did all the stuff you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Did you go to the Americana?
We're pros at this now. No, we go to the Santa Anita Mall. It's a little bit further out of the way, but it's a whole different experience.
I like that.
It's very traditional mall setting. Santa's in the middle of the mall and the big tree and all the decorations up, and it's fun. But there's a coffee bean tea leaf coffee cart off to the side, and so we expect to wait. It's part of the fun experience of doing anything. We're waiting a little bit. I'm like, oh, I'll go get a coffee. And you stay with the kids. Here's a screenshot of the confirmation number if you get let in, because this could take a while. So just walk over to get a coffee. I ordered a large oatmeal vanilla latte iced. This is our fun treat dessert drink, and we'll split it between Shannon and I. And so I ordered it and waiting, and again just waiting. It's nothing but waiting. And I get up there, and the cup looked kind of small, and I asked the guy, and he's younger, and they're busy, and it's the holidays, it's the mall. I'm empathetic to the situation. I get it, but I'm not, I'm not complaining. It's fine. Yeah. But then I just noticed the cup looked a little small. I was like, I know I ordered the large because I was in the holiday spirit. Charging me the $7 for a dumb cup of coffee. Sure, I'm in. You got me. I don't do this all the time. I'm buying in the whole thing. Get the large, and he's like, oh. And he looked at it and he looked at my receipt, and he's busy. But he looked at the receipt and looked at things like, oh, that's my mistake. Hold on. And then I watch him get a large, fill it all the way to the top with ice, like, so there's like no room left, and then just proceed to pour the smaller coffee drink with the ice into this bigger cup. And honestly, I think there was still coffee left in the smaller cup. I think he didn't even pour because it wouldn't all fit.
He didn't even think about it.
He put too much ice in it, and it was just insane. It was beyond. It was 99% ice. The whole drink.
I love
cup.
it.
And I just started laughing, and I was like, oh my God, like that's not not at all.
Like, this is not okay. I need more coffee and more.
This is not the thing I ordered. I didn't say I wanted a bigger cup because I wanted more ice. Like, this is insane. And there was another guy next to me, like an older guy. He's like, did that just happen? And at this point, I'm just laughing, and I'm not giving the guy a hard time, and he's kind of looking up at me like, what? Huh? And he's like, moving on to the next thing. Like, I don't think he really knew he did something wrong or wasn't like fully copping to it, like kind of no eye contact, like head down, just keep making coffees. I just got this guy his big cup. He's fucking guy wants a big fucking cup. Fuck off. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God.
You said you wanted to hold your coffee in a bigger cup.
But there's less coffee, literally less coffee in the bigger cup because I think it wouldn't all fit. And so I just saw him throw the whole thing in the trash, but there was still, a couple good sips of real coffee or whatever that was in there. Oh my God. And I just laughed and walked away. And I showed Shannon, I told her about it, and she was like, what? You got to go back. You got to, and again, I was like, you got to get it. You should just get you a whole nother coffee.
I'd be like, there needs to be another shot in there, bro.
Come on,
let's go.
I just didn't have it in me. And then the kids, we still have little ones, our youngest one's only 6, and just him being at the mall. And anyway, the whole thing, I was just like,
oh my God, that's amazing.
We walk away. We live to tell the tale. We'll fight another fight. We'll win one next time.
It is. I do have to say,
mall coffee bean kiosk. You won this round.
that there, I do have to say, and this is definitely old guy talking, because I'm sure that the old guys said this about us too when we were slackers or whatever.
Oh, right.
Our generation was like, oh, you all you slackers, you know, that it was there is just in general, I would say a small percentage of a lack of decision making that happens now with younger, I feel like the decision making is a little slower. There's a little like when I was buying something at, some box store, and there was a guy that was in front of me, and he goes, do you have any red aprons? Right. It was like one of those, like a home goods or something like that. It was like a store like that. But they wear red aprons in the store, right? That's part of their thing.
So he thought he wanted
and the kid just looked, no, it was an older guy, and he was just literally looking for a red apron. Yeah. And the kid looks down and he's like,
like, you mean like this one?
No, this is I have to wear this. This is at the register. By the way, this is a great, he's like 6'3", probably like 19, and like a pretty feminine. Uh-huh. And this the dude asking is like this, like 5'9", 200-pound, like old Italian guy, like maybe he's 65. And I'm like, oh my God, how is this going to go? Because the guy's definitely he's been waiting forever to ask this one question. And the kid just looks down and goes, oh, we have to wear these. And he goes, well, but do you sell red aprons? And he just was like, so confused. He was like, well, wait, like these? We don't sell these. And he's like, no. Just you sell aprons. Yeah, we sell aprons. Do you sell red aprons? And he just goes, hold on. Just go over. I don't know. And then I was next, and he was just he was so just like,
just threw him.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Why did he ask for red aprons? Oh, damn. He was just like, he couldn't barely even order. I had Towns had gotten candy, and I don't know. We had nothing. And he was just so like brain broken over the red apron question. And it was like he was like, someone was messing with him and he couldn't figure it out. And I was like, this is unreal.
That's amazing.
No, we don't sell these, man. No, I'm not just red aprons.
Want that one.
Just red aprons in general. He's like,
this is gonna be tough.
Do you work here? Wait, what? You want to work here? No, you can. You're too old. No,
you have
wait,
to go
what?
See my
Who?
Manager. He can get you an application for the red apron if you want.
Yeah, and definitely go just any of those bigger stores. Yes. Like they hire like a tenth of the amount of people that should actually be there.
Yes.
So when you need help, the person is trying to help 40 people. Yeah. And they're 20 years old, and they're just like, why am I here? I'm like making $15 an hour, and I'm just dealing with grumpy people because all those people are like, why isn't anyone working here?
Yeah.
This is a store, right? We're supposed to be trying to buy things, and I have a question. And this was like trying to buy shoes at like a Dick's Sporting Goods. Oh, no. And there was one kid on a Saturday, and it's like, there's 100 parents. It's like,
it's not his fault.
No. It's like football season. It's like everybody's in there trying to get cleats, and it's Christmas and whatever. And he's walking around and he's like, what? And I'm like, do you have these in an 8.5? And he's like, wait, women's or men's? Like, no, 8.5 men's. He's like, but she's a girl. And I'm like, yeah, or no, it was like 8.5 women's, or whatever it was. Yeah. And he's like, but she's a kid. For you, it's for you. And I'm like, no, it's for her. But these are men's shoes, and they just have the men's, so it's like a 6 in men's or whatever. And he's like, but it's for you though. And I'm like, no, it's not for me. It's for her. But I need a 6 in men's.
It doesn't matter who it's for.
But but she needs women's sizes. And I'm like, yeah, but this shoe isn't women. Oh,
not a gendered shoe. These aren't high heels.
Yeah, buddy, I know. I know. I'm with you. I'm trying to make it easier.
How do I ask this question?
I'm like, okay, a 7.5 in women's. And then he looks, he's like, oh, those only come in men's. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, do you not understand what I'm asking for? And I'm also like, this might actually be why you're stressed out, because this is not the job for you.
No.
I think you don't need to be here.
Yeah.
But he really was like, oh no, those are only in men's. And I'm like,
that's
I know.
Why I asked him
that's why
size.
I need a 6 in men's. And he's like, I'm like, you got to trust me. Just go grab the 6 in men's. It's going to be good.
I will leave. Like, I will get out of your hair if you give me what I'm asking for.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Like now? And I'm like, oh my God, yes, now you have 20 people here. Dude, totally. 100%. We're
right now.
You're good. You definitely need 5 more people working here because I feel for you, but I also don't want to be here for an hour. But let's go. Yeah. Let's go. We got this.
As large as my empathy is for you, I also just need to leave this thing. I cannot be in here any longer.
You're definitely going to need some decision-making classes. Let's go.
Well,
let's get in there.
I had a similar experience a couple of years ago when I was doing a remodel here, building out the studio, and I needed quite a few things, and I was trying to price it out. I was doing my due diligence. I was ahead of, before we get building, I was trying to price out things and curious who had what, where, and the prices, and, just trying to collect, all the data points I needed to make a good decision on this big project I was going to spend a bunch of money on. And I made the mistake of calling Lowe's like on a Wednesday at, 11 a.m.
Oh my God.
But I called just to check to see if they had something. I don't know if it was, drywall or something. I was looking for, like 1/2-inch drywall, and just want to get the price on it. And I should have gone to the website, or I did go to the website, or maybe there was something else I needed, drywall tape to go with it, or putty. I was just want to make sure they had the thing in stock before I went, or I don't know exactly. I forget. It was my mistake for calling. That's what I've learned out. I learned after the fact, but I remember just getting placed on hold immediately, like going through a computer prompt, to direct you to the right call and everything. And then someone answers and puts you on hold. And then I asked for, construction materials, drywall, something. I asked for whatever the thing was. And then 10 minutes go by and somebody answers like, huh? What do you need? What are you looking for? And I said, well, I'm looking for nails, looking for something. And like, hold on, I'll transfer you. And then just on hold for another 20 minutes. And I was just like, I could have driven there.
I was going to say, you literally could have driven to Lowe's.
Yeah. But I just felt like then at some point it just became this funny thing of just like, oh my God, this is like a half hour. And I've talked to 4 different people and none of them really have any way of finding the answer to the question I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like this was clearly my mistake for calling. Yeah. And so I couldn't help but feel bad for them because obviously they're overwhelmed or it wasn't the right thing, but also envious in some ways too, where it's like, it doesn't really matter. Like they don't really have to do the thing. This is not like calling businesses isn't really a service anymore. Like you go on the website, check the stock, and that's the best part too. You check the stock, like it says you have it in stock, and then you get there and they're like, I don't know, it's not here.
Well, we did at some point, but not.
Well, well, you could go to another store, like, but will they have it there? Like, I don't know. So what am I supposed to do?
So can you call them?
You can go to Amazon.
I could.
Yeah, I've been to Home Depot before, and people just looked at me and said, "Just go to Amazon." I'm like, well, what am I looking for on Amazon? What are you talking about? Like, I need a replacement door panel. Like we've had this a few times with our 10-year-old refrigerator that still runs great. Things are cold as hell, but the door, those door rails, like the rails that keep the ketchup from falling off the door.
Yeah,
they're just like brittle, cheap plastic. Yeah. They break all the time.
Just trying to get one.
It's again, my bad. I've become very stealth with it. And the last time we bought 2 instead of buying 1.
Nice.
Because it made sense.
You have a whole storage unit that's just
I have a backup,
extra parts for
I've
everything.
Super glued it. I've duct taped it. It looked bad. I think the statute of limitation has run out. The statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations.
Yeah, there's no more statues for my limitations now. But
You've built a statue out of all of your stuff.
I went into a store. I won't say which store. A store.
Yeah.
And they had that same fridge there. And I looked at I had the broken thing in my hand. I was going to ask somebody, where can I get one of these? No one would help me. No one would make eye contact with me. And I'm walking around with this broken thing in my hand. I'm trying to find somebody to have a discussion about this. point me in the right direction. You sell the model. It's here on the floor. What do you do? What's the replacement part thing? And you people, there's lots of parts here. There's a whole part store. It's a store full of parts. And nobody would help me. And I was just looked at it. I was like, I'm just going to take it from the floor model. I'm just taking this thing.
Did you put your broken one in its place?
No, I kept the broken one in my hand. And just in case anyone did want to talk to me about it, I can say, I have one of them and I have a broken one. I need two. I'm trying, just try to give a confusion bomb out the door. I wanted to keep all the stuff in my hand. I just took it.
You're going back to your roots of eating on tour.
This was very punk. These were my punk roots. Well, it's also like I would have played the game. He charged me $20, charged me $60, whatever it is. Here I'm coming in looking for help. And again, there's the old man vibes hit so hard when you're in a situation like this. You have a fridge, you have kids, you have a wife, and your job is to fix things. And there is no solution. No one is there to help you make a solution. So then I reverted back to just being a punk and just I'm just gonna fucking take this off. And, they're never. I don't know what was gonna happen. I couldn't see the project further than that. Like once I had the thing I wanted in my hand, I was like, this is it. No one's gonna sell this to me. No one. There's the only answer is for me just to walk out of the store with this. And it now got us through for another 5 years or whatever, 3 years, and then it breaks again, and then I go back and they don't sell that model anymore. Now at that point, the model is no longer being sold.
Yeah. And you know what? They're fine.
I think so.
I feel like the same way I should have done that cause we had our stove, like one of the knobs broke. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, you got to be able to just buy this. Sure. It's not like the most basic stove, right?
It's not like these are small companies. These people that make the stoves are major, world.
Yeah, it's like Whirlpool
brands.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
and it broke. The little back part broke, and I'm like, oh, you got to get that. I'm like, no, you can't get that. You have to buy the whole knob. So I'm like, okay, great. How much is a knob? And then I can't really find it. And then I'm at Home Depot or wherever we bought it. And I'm like, oh, they've got one there. They've got these there. And I go in and I'm like, hey, we had one of those, the knobs break. Where can I find one? They're like, oh, we don't sell parts.
Yeah. And you're the
asshole. Like, what do you mean you don't sell parts? He's like, well, we sell extra knobs, but they're like, you have to buy a whole set. And they're like $60 and it's like a knockoff brand. Mm. So you could redo all your knobs. And I'm like, no, but I just want one of those. You don't sell extra pieces for the thing. And he's like, no, I mean, you could probably go to Whirlpool, I guess, online or something. And I'm like, yeah, that's never going to show up in the mail. That's going to take that's going to take a month for that to show up. And then he said the same thing. He's like, I'm sure they have them on Amazon. But I'm
Are you now?
What a horrible business.
And then you're welcome. And then they say, well, wow, the brick and mortar's not doing well. And you're like, well, because they keep telling me to go to Amazon.
The truth is, I think they don't want it to do well, right? Like they're like, we lose so much money having to pay all these people where we could just pay people in a warehouse in Utah to put it in a box and ship it to you. And like, it's fine. And then, but also like after that, I'm like, okay. And then he just got on his phone and walked away. And I was like,
our interaction here is done.
Destroys me. This destroys me because I get it. And I'm fully there with like, listen, bro, this is him talking to me. I don't care about my job. Your idea that you need a new thing for it doesn't concern me. Like I'm here until I'm not here anymore. And then I go home.
Yeah.
So like, you're bothering my phone time. And I'm just like, I'm literally you're lucky that I didn't skip down the other aisle when you looked at me.
Yeah.
I
regret making
But then he was right.
You, sir.
He was right because I got a knob off Amazon. I got a whole set for $30.
It was
fun. And I could actually replace the back part of the original, and it's fine.
Oh, good.
So he's right. Yeah. Do not go to Home Depot. Go to Amazon. Even though Amazon is actually worse than Home Depot. And Home Depot's horrible too.
Horrible things.
I would say probably Lowe's is the best, but I'm sure they're owned by a vodka company that is siphoning blood from teenagers in Russia or something.
If you have an Etsy store where you make replacement appliance parts,
Whirlpool,
if you make ceramic or 3D printed kiln pressed artisanal replacement parts, please please send me your link to your store.
Oh, yeah.
You can send it to hyphenatehalftime@gmail.com,
Yeah.
and I will give you a plug. You will be a forever sponsor of this show if you make artisanal replacement appliance parts.
It's shaped like a unicorn.
It's perfect. I'll take it all day long.
Hand crocheted knobs for your for your stove.
Sure. That's great.
Yeah, let's go.
I'll do it.
I'm in.
Yeah, we appropriated from old vintage vinyl, vacuum formed into new pieces.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I love that. Make the whole. We'll make the whole. Hand built ceramic ovens.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'll take it, man.
Yeah.
I'm in for it.
Let's go.
All right. Well, we've wasted a perfectly good hour. This was exciting as always. It happened.
We have not only wasted our time, but we've wasted your time.
And thank you for that.
This is perfect.
We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate.
I can't wait for this Schecter.
Oh yeah, Schecter guitars. So new.
Are you going to start getting
some
Schecter artists?
I don't know. I hope so. Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I looked at the Schecter artist page, and there are some people. So Isaac Brock is listed on the Schecter page from your band, Modest Mouse. From your area of the woods.
Yes.
And Joe Plummer, our fearless leader here at Ruinous Media, he spent some time in the Modest Mouse ensemble. And so I saw and Joe was telling me, that he had been working on some crazy guitar for a few years, but he doesn't know if it ever got made or not. But there's also a Robert Smith guitar that's there.
Okay.
Robert Smith has a signature guitar in Schecter. And then there's a lot of, intense new metal looking things, which again, different strokes for different folks. I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think they're high quality. They're affordable pricing, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
I would love to check out a Schecter and give it a put it through its paces. It looks cool though. I mean, there's definitely stuff in there. At this point, whatever Fender, Gibson, everyone's kind of making their stuff at the same places overseas and shipping unless you're getting some kind of insane custom, reliced, Americanized thing. Guitars are guitars. I'm not too snobby about it, but I think it'll be cool. We will see what happens.
Awesome.
Follow us here for more information on Schecter guitars, and maybe there'll be some cool deals or some things we could suss out in the future. But they're actually very close. They are in Sun Valley, which is funny. They're like literally 10 minutes down the road from where we record this. Yeah,
like their offices or. They have
warehouse,
they're building
office,
guitars
something
there?
Yeah, I don't know. They might be doing a lot of stuff there. Again, maybe there'll be a
Schecter custom shop.
Maybe I can go
do some live
interview some people from the Schecter floor.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Talk to Mr. Schecter himself. See what
I used to love going into when I used to shoot for Music Man. I used to love just going in to see the guitars keep being made and the pickups being wound and all that stuff. Incredible. It's so awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
and also the people there love it.
Stoked.
I mean, you get a bunch of guitar players, but even the people that aren't guitar players are super engineering,
craftsmen. There's still stuff,
it's amazing.
Still stuff getting made. Yeah. I think it's cool. So check out schecterguitars.com and and follow us here for more. There should be some more cool stuff coming up. Little Red Toaster. No. Scared Little Toaster sent me something, but I don't have it pulled up here. I'm going to get it on the next show. I just don't have it here, but our good friends over at Scared Little Toaster sent some more music. And then I also wanted to give a shout out. Our friend Dorian Holder, past guest here. He has, what does he have? He has a podcast as well. Where are we at here? It is called, D Sweeta Sounds, and that's on Apple Music. Go check them out. And then you can also find it. I also started Station Head. It's like a playlist of music. It goes live when I'm ready. So you can also talk on there live and add guests. Cool. So he's making his own podcast. I think it'll be super cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So shout out to Dorian Holder, who also makes great guitars. He made me a cool custom guitar all the way from Japan. But D Sweeta Sounds, D dash SUITA dash sounds. He's got cool stuff up on Apple Music, so go check it out.
Awesome.
I'll see everybody on Thursday. More stuff going into the holidays, trying to highlight some authors and books and things that are good to buy around the holiday stuff. Some good gift guides from independent cool creators.
Amazing.
Yep. And thank you again, Reg, for coming on. It was a pleasure talking with you. I'm so stoked the Kickstarter got funded. I can't wait to hear the lost tapes all cleaned up. And it definitely was an honor to get to talk with her on the podcast.
Yeah, it was great. Such a good interview.
Yeah, man. All right. Long live Rich Jacobs. Sending love.
Yes.
Love out to Rich and his family and friends everywhere. All right, man. I'll see you next week.
All right. Later.